Guys, quickly keep this round of applause going for Seema. Please follow Seema, Twitter, Instagram. So Seema, on top of being an amazing doctor and disease hunter and journalist, is an author. She has a book out now, but she also got a book dropping soon. Russ, can I get that next slide? Russell, can I get that next slide? She's got a book dropping soon, so please make sure to pre-order it. It's about all the amazing Muslim women in the world. You can pre-order it online soon, but Seema will also be out in the lobby selling some of her books next to Pallavi selling her shirts. So we're going to get everybody out here right now and do a quick Q&A. So if you've got questions, hold them, but we'll be doing our own talk really quick. So guys, come on, let's get everybody out here. All right, come on. All right, it's stuck.
Oh no, they left.
They're going to the phone.
I think they're gonna lie. I think the sexual tension we created like so much, right?
They trust each other so much now that they're like, let's go try that weird shit we were gonna say for date 3.
I can't believe he left without giving me his number. I know.
I'm not when I saw that, I felt so fucking bad. But you know, whatever, fuck them.
Oh, they had a date for Valentine's Day.
That's a first date on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, no, it's my first Valentine's Day in a relationship, actually.
Woo!
Yeah, right? And she is in LA, so yeah.
Hey, do you guys want to just scoot down so Russell can just sit where Dylan's at? I mean, Russell is the scientist,
Russell, what are you doing there?
but I'm the one who's going to figure this logistics stuff out.
Okay, so what's up with you, Alex? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I actually do have some questions. This is for both of you, but we can all answer. Have you guys ever inoculated anyone specific in your life from bullshit?
I do it all the time. Me too.
Can you give us some tasty treats?
I do a science comedy web series called Dirty Science on YouTube, and it's aimed at adults. So I like swear and shit, and I just pick a topic and I talk about it every 2 weeks. I'll pick a different topic, and then I also am very vocal in Uber rides because, right? Because sometimes they just start talking about shit and you're like, no one else is gonna tell you this is wrong, so I will. I don't give a fuck what rating I get.
So how do you know you've inoculated them?
They shut up about it. Here's the thing, you can either like educate people and like get them to change their mind on things, like I said earlier, like by convincing them, or you can, if they're the type of person that's not gonna do that, you can shame them into silence, which I'm also fine with. Like if they don't spread it.
I experienced this earlier today, for sure. I was, inoculated at a rest stop about my hand that I might have broken. And I didn't go to the ER. I was like, I'll just wait it out. Don't do that. And Pallavi made it very clear that I should not have done that. And so like definitely one part inoculation, I learned something. One part I was shamed so hard. I'm like, I don't even want to talk.
I'll
Just be quiet.
I'll look at your hand for you later.
Hey!
But I feel like I inoculate people because when they chat shit on Twitter, I just go in on them.
Oh yeah.
But then I also get tired of it, and then I just mute them and block them. So there's a limit to how many like bullshit vaccines you can give out at any one time. And by the way, I just want to say that I am like selling books today because comedy and academia ain't paying the bills. So,
She was my Uber driver.
So on the topic of super spreaders, can you actually talk a little bit more about that? Like what makes somebody a super spreader?
So either for disease or for bullshit contagions, what usually identifies someone as a super spreader might be something in the infectious case to do with their immune system. They maybe just shed more of the virus. But more often than not, it's something about them. It might be that they are very social. It might be that they are, God forbid, like a kindergarten teacher, and they're just in contact with a lot of people. So you add those factors together, and it kind of just sets off this maelstrom of a person who's capable of spreading the infection far and wide. With bullshit, it can often be because of a person's platform, right? So the reason that you might take medical advice from Jim Carrey and not from a physician is because you feel like you know him, he's built trust with you over so many years and so many movies, and so platform can be a really convincing part of what makes somebody a bullshit super spreader.
So I'm curious. I mean, you bring up like Twitter is what I don't know. Like, what happens when super spreaders collide? Like, is there any research done on I don't know what is the best way to combat super spreaders, or are there people who are the complete opposite of super spreaders, like the vaccine people?
Yes,
essentially.
Yes, yes, there are. So as well as, I didn't say this, so I don't want to talk for too long, but as much as there are super spreaders, there are people called stiflers. And within the infectious example, there's somebody who the infection comes to them, maybe it's a new coronavirus, but then they like hold themselves up at home, right? They just don't come into contact with others. They might be like a little bit of a hermit. Something about their social life just makes them much less likely to carry on that infection chain.
Sounds like being an introvert who doesn't talk to people is good for both actual disease and bullshit.
I feel like incels prove that point wrong. So
no, because they're still being extroverted on the internet.
That's true.
They're not completely
That's
isolating
the problem.
themselves.
They're not
We need to get off the
isolated.
internet, guys. Just going like a monologue about this.
Oh, shut up, Google.
Oh yeah, it's such a tech city.
Right?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm just so used to dealing with like the worst artists. So I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get my VC funding for the ideas condom. Like this is a pitch. Every conversation in San Francisco is a pitch.
Consider marrying me.
It's gonna happen tonight.
Oh, I hope so.
So I wonder. I just staying on this super spreaders idea one more for a couple
Well,
more.
you really like the super spreaders.
I do.
Well, it sounds dirty, and it is Valentine's Day.
So is there certain kinds of information that might spread more than other kinds? Because, I don't know, fear versus good news.
It's been studied really extensively, especially on platforms like Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, all of those, that highly emotional language, very dramatic language, words like disgust and terrified, those are the tweets that are more likely to go viral, which, no pun intended, but that's why I got really pissed off recently. Like early on in this coronavirus outbreak, there was a doctor who was Harvard affiliated or Harvard adjacent who tweeted this thing about like, oh my God, this epidemic is gonna be thermonuclear, help us God, or something like that. And he had doctor in his title, he didn't really know shit. He went to Harvard at some point. But that kind of language, coupled with that kind of affiliation and the doctor, that stuff, he got like 80,000 followers overnight. And 2 Atlantic magazine articles written about him in his tweet. So those kinds of messages and that language is super sticky and it will spread far.
I think the biggest thing that because I'm a biomedical engineer, so whatever. We've all done shit. No, I'm kidding. I just did my PhD. Seriously, marry me. Okay. The thing that I notice the most about like people being unable to sense bullshit is that they're often overwhelmed by sources. Like they're unable to like critically think about specific sources and why some are more valuable than others. So they assign the same amount of value to all these different sources that some are factual and some are not, but just because it's all coming at them. And for us, like we've read scientific papers since we were like in high school, college, whatever. And so we're able to like parse like good experiments from bad experiments and good conclusions from bad conclusions. But the average person, you just have to trust that the system is working, and like the system is never something you can trust, right? Given everything that's happened. So I think like giving people the skills to critically think is like the most important part, because you can't like protect them from all sources, right? Like
it's information overload, and that's why you even get like good science journalists writing shitty articles that are like a sensationalist and not nuanced, and they're citing articles that look legit but are not peer reviewed, look like they're incredible journals, but actually they're like predatory journals that anyone could publish in. So it's very easy to get tripped up, and it's really hard to know who to trust.
Can I ask you guys, the 3 of you, but everyone can answer. Dylan, if you have.
And I'm not part of the 3.
Well, there you are, one more than 3. I've noticed a lot of times that the people who I feel to be super spreaders of bullshit in my life believe in themselves the most. Is that?
Wait, do they take acid on a mountain next to bones?
Hey guys, if anybody wants to know the secret, meet me after.
What happens? Like, where do bones come from? Dead things? I should trip balls next to these.
Do you just like know a lot of men?
Do I know a lot of men?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very handsome. It's usually handsome men from San Francisco. Are like, I have the answer, listen to me.
But that's like that psychology thing of like Dunning-Kruger effect, where the people who are the most confident in a subject know the least about it. because they don't know how much they don't fucking know, which I think is like the problem with everything right now, with like politics and voting and everything. It's like if you just have the confidence, then you can like forget about facts.
And then going back to journalism, like journalists will then really veer towards the people that sound really authoritative and really confident, and that'll be the male scientists and the female scientists who are adding the nuance and being really honest about the uncertainty, because there always is uncertainty. They don't make for as good interviews, right? So then you end up with journalism that's really skewed one way as well.
Russell, what do you have to say for yourself?
It better be nothing.
I feel like we should open up to a few questions from the audience. You guys agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you have anything feeling.
Any questions?
Don't feel so nervous. Or maybe you hate us.
If you don't, that's fine. We can keep talking.
If you hate Dylan, say nothing.
Sir in the back with your hand raised.
Yeah. Do we need people who are confidently doubting themselves? Like,
That's me. That's most women, I feel like.
like really passionately don't know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we second guess ourselves all the time, even when we know our shit. But I think that can make us trustworthy because we're really clear, like I said, about the uncertainty, and there always is uncertainty. You don't want someone like glossing over that and being like, I know all of the things, which is what male scientists often do.
I am curious though, so like constantly questioning yourself, doubting yourself makes for better research, better science. Is there a certain point of like male arrogance, we'll just call it that you need to be like, I'm just fucking right to like make your point more?
I've had to go into meetings and
You're very assertive.
I fucking had to learn that because I was in meetings with professors and they wouldn't listen to my conclusions until I started matching their behavior, until I started yelling. Like I literally would talk to other students, I'm like, he's not listening to these conclusions, and they were like, just scream back at him, and I was like, I don't want, it's emotionally exhausting to do that, and then I quit and became a stand-up and did that anyway, so.
I refuse to model male behavior in order to succeed, like that's just not going to be my way of succeeding.
I mean, I don't use condoms, but.
On this entire topic, and relating it back to trust and relationships, is that how can we change who people trust overall? I mean, this is actually one of the ethos of our show, right? Like, we're trying to point towards the people that you should be trusting, right? If it all boils down to trust, who you trust.
As someone who has no science background, can I just jump on this? Do you feel like
Be a man.
Yeah, right. That's not me. As far as like trust and like trust people, it's like it feel like a self-generating thing. If you have a platform, people trust you, and therefore your platform becomes bigger, and then people trust you more, independent of whatever information you're spreading. And so, like, I guess I'm just literally reiterating the question.
You're not really answering, are you?
No, it wasn't the answer. I wanted to add something on, and then you can answer it because
How
I'm
very
uninformed.
female of you.
I was just going to confidently doubt myself and say, like, I don't know the answer to your question. I think we're struggling to figure that out still.
I feel like, but it's got to be, when you said the kindergarten teacher thing, you were talking about like actual infections, but I was thinking about like our education system and like how that, the same analogy, because I really do think that like if people are taught to question the sources in the way that we are as scientists taught to do so, then they will like people are always like, why do I need to learn math in school? It's because someone believed in you, okay? Right? I think that in the same way, like people should be given those critical thinking skills at a young age so that they're like, they have that. I feel like that's lacking in our education.
So we're getting a little low on time. I wanted to give the audience one more chance for a question before we wrap it up. Does anybody have?
Way in the back.
Oh, hi. Yes.
My question is, what is the ideal condom made from?
What is the idea condom made from?
I don't know. Could you help me with that? I'm just thinking latex right now, but again, the asphyxiation issue.
And I have an allergy.
Wait.
Yeah, girl.
Russell, one kind of silly question to close it out.
Yeah, so to close this out, I would like to know what relationships are you guys excited about going in the future?
Oh, my dog, Lily.
I have a dog too.
Yeah. I trust my dog innately. Yeah. Pure emotion. That's the only one.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. I generally, I don't know. I love doing comedy, so I love connecting with audiences. But I think one-on-one, it's just. It's real hit or miss with you guys. So I also just love my dog.
I'm really excited about connecting with SF. You know, I fucked up at the beginning. I misspoke. I said I was excited about San Francisco's audiences because they are much better than Los Angeles audiences, and I needed to clarify that on stage. I felt really bad. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here, and hopefully we can come back because this was incredible. You guys were amazing.
You guys were terrific, and I'm excited about every time we get the chance to work with amazing scientists. And that leads me to the end. Is anybody here in a STEM field? Training, stand up, stand up. So we do this show because we love you people and we love working with scientists, engineers, mathematicians, doctors, and we want to celebrate you guys. So everybody give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Now, we're all going to be outside by the bar. Remember to stop by Seema and Pallavi's tables. If you guys want a shirt or a book, they'll be selling it out there. Otherwise, please follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, Science the Show. We love you guys, and we'll hope to see you soon. Have a great Valentine's Day.